So I had a clear birth plan this time. I wasn't planning on an induction because she did mention like
Yeah.
inductions kind of hurt VBAC chances. So
Yeah.
that kind of made me bummed out when I knew I was having induction.
Yeah.
But I just said my prayers and I was really trusting that it was going to work out.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that's really all you can do in that situation too, because like I mean, you have to have an induction sometimes. It just works out that way. And so like just praying and, I think you obviously have such a strong faith too, which I think in these situations is just so important. What was the plan for the induction? Did they kind of like map that out for you? Or were they just like, this is what we're going to start with and then we'll see what happens from there?
So they wanted to start me on Pitocin immediately. And I
Okay.
told them no.
Good.
I
Yeah.
don't think they liked me very much because I said no to pretty much everything. And I said, this is what I'll allow based on my research was a
Okay.
balloon. I said, you
Yeah.
can use a balloon to induce my labor until I can't have a balloon anymore. And then we can talk about next steps. And so that's
I
what we
love
did.
that. Good.
Hmm.
That's awesome. That's like you were able to like empower yourself and advocate for yourself because
Yes.
I mean that's so important. So they did the Foley balloon and then what happened from there?
So I labored great with it. It took a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but I was fine with it. And I would say I got in there about 6 o'clock. I would say by midnight, I was to 4 centimeters.
Okay.
So it worked pretty well. And
Good.
then um, I was laboring on my own till about 7.5 to 8 centimeters.
Okay.
And then I can't remember why, but they were like, we have to give you a little bit of Pitocin. I
Mhm.
can't remember exactly why they had to do it, but I told them, if it's a must, like you have to do it, I want the lowest dose
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they did that. And then I kind of was not tolerating that well, was throwing up a lot and just, your body's trying to tolerate the pain level of it all.
Yeah.
And they got a little bit concerned because I stopped progressing past 7.5 centimeters. And
Okay.
they said, let's give you like a walking epidural or something really small just to keep you relaxed. So I prayed about it. I didn't really necessarily want to do it, but I
Yeah.
think in the heat of labor, I didn't think about this because this was my first real vaginal birth. So I didn't know
Yeah.
what to do in that situation. So I allowed them to do it and it ended up working out, thankfully. And within I would say another 4 hours, I was pushing, and Kaya was out in 5 pushes.
I love that. Um, so can you go back just quickly and just kind of talk a little about the walking epidural? What did that look like? Were you able to still move around and be up, or were you in the bed at that point?
I was in the bed, but I was also able to walk around, which
Okay.
I liked. Yeah, I needed
Yeah.
that. I needed to be able to walk around.
Yeah, that's so nice. I think that people don't know that that's an option sometimes, to ask if if they're like, oh, I need to take the edge off. I just like am in so much pain, to ask for a walking epidural first, before then going to a full epidural if that's what you need. And obviously, everyone has to listen to their own body and what they need, but yeah, I think that's such a great option because you are still able to like move around and be changing positions and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's great that you were able to have that. So then, um, talk me through what that looked like postpartum now. So you just had a VBAC. Like, did you get to do skin to skin this time? How did that all go?
Yes, so she came out. I was skin to skin. I was on cloud nine because I was like, I did it. Like, my
Yeah.
body is able. I felt so empowered, so happy. We did skin to skin. She immediately breastfed, she nursed, she latched. I mean, and my postpartum from that point, I was in the hospital maybe 2 days and then they cleared me. She didn't have any issues. I didn't have any issues. I did tear a little bit, um, but it was like a first degree tear. It wasn't too
Yeah.
bad. A little bit of stitches. And we went home and she did great. Like, I did great. I don't really have anything negative to say about that postpartum. I
Yeah.
felt just maybe because it was like this actually happened. I actually
Yeah.
got to have the VBAC. I was
Yeah.
just very happy about that. And that helped a lot with my confidence, going into caring for her, knowing I didn't have an incision to care for, knowing I could
Yeah.
do things I could not before.